What is up, my fellow Harley riders? This is the Perpetuating Party of Patriots, and I'm doing another tier list video today. This one is a more video game centered tier list. Most of my tier lists usually revolve around shows, and I've done a couple other game tier lists, but this one is going to be on my Capcom franchise or Capcom game series tier list. I have talked about Street Fighter and Mega Man on this channel before, but yeah, personally, I really like a lot of Capcom games. A lot of the franchises that they've made or series that they've made usually have games that make it into my favorites lists. And yeah, I don't really know much about them as a company, just so for all I know, they could be douchebags, but yeah, the work they make is pretty good. So yeah, there are some franchises that they've made where I've legit never played a single game from, so I haven't played here, but for the most part, this is just the usual letter format, and yeah, they made a couple franchises, so yeah, you'll get to know my opinions on them. Anyway, here we have the Ghouls and Ghosts series, or as it's called over here, Ghosts and Goblins. This is probably one of the most notorious ones in the Capcom series or the Capcom company. Basically, these games, pretty much all of them are fucking balls hard. So, uh, yeah, they are pretty bullshit in their difficulty, but they are they can be fun, but I feel like difficulty should be balanced, but I'll give it a B tier because I do have some fun with it. Mega Man, yeah, there are definitely some shit games in this franchise, but this is one of my personal favorites, and this is mainly going off favorites list. So yeah, I think S tier, I guess. Resident Evil, okay, call me a little bit crazy, but I've never really been that crazy about this franchise. Don't get me wrong, I played a couple games in the series, and it's pretty good, but not on my personal favorites. But I'll give it a B tier because I do think there are good games in the series. Devil May Cry, I really like what I played from this series. I played all of the first three. I played the fourth game and the reboot, I think. Pretty much all of them have been pretty good. The only one that I didn't really think was that great was the second game, but even then, I don't think it's that bad. Currently, I haven't played the fifth game though, but I played most of them, and yeah, I really like it. Dead Rising, haven't played any of the games in this series either. Haven't played any games in this series, so yeah, okay. Street Fighter, this is one of my favorite fighting game franchises. So yeah, and for the most part, the games in this franchise are really good. For example, Street Fighter 2, even though there's a fuck ton of versions of it. Third Strike, Street Fighter 3, the Street Fighter Alpha series, those are really good. Four, I actually like. I liked Street Fighter 4, and crap, even Street Fighter Cross Tekken, I like that one too. I haven't played a whole lot of five though, but yeah, I tend to really like Street Fighter games. So yeah, Ace Attorney, have not played any of the games in this series either. Mega Man X, I actually think I kind of like Mega Man X more than I do regular classic Mega Man. So yeah, S tier, and yeah, the first three were fucking great. Four was really good. Five was pretty good. At six, I wasn't the hugest fan of, but I didn't think it was that bad. Seven, just bad. And at eight, I think that's cool, and Command Mission as well. But yeah, I again, this is mainly going off of what I think of the franchises. But yeah, okay, Rival Schools. I think there's only like two games in this series, and I think I played both the original Rival Schools and Project Justice, and they're both pretty solid 3D fighters. So I think A tier would be decent for it. Lost Planet, have not played any of the games in the series. The 1940 series, they're basically scrolling shooters. I think I played about like four of them. I think they're pretty fun. 1943 I really like, but yeah, the 1942 honestly wasn't that fun. But I'll give it a B tier, I guess. Marvel vs. Capcom's the next one. Yeah, I don't think I played a single game in this series that I didn't really like. The only one that I wasn't the most really that fond of was Infinite, but Haven't really played it that much, but Marvel vs. Capcom 1, especially 2 and 3, all really fun. So yeah, I think it gets the top tier placement. Dino Crisis, haven't played any of the games in this series. Final Fight. So there's only really about like three, and I know there's some other ones, like there was a fighting game, and I haven't played Streetwise, but I hear it's shit. But from what I played of the Final Fight franchise, I think it's really fun. The first one's still my favorite, but 2 and 3 are pretty fun as well. So yeah, A tier. Beautiful Joe, literally have only played the first game and the one spinoff I had. The first game was fun. I thought that was a really fun time, but I don't really remember liking Red Hot Rumble that much, so I think it's like I'll give it a high B because the first one's really fun. Monster Hunter, don't really think I played this one or played this series much. Capcom versus SNK, the second game was fucking great. I thought that was a really fun game, and the first one I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, just for the second game, I'll give it a high A tier. But yeah, again, I do like SNK as well, and this franchise is pretty cool. But so yeah, uh, I don't know if I've really played much of the Disney Capcom games. I know I've played DuckTales in the Aladdin game they had, but I don't really know. So I'll just throw it and haven't played. Breath of Fire, haven't really played any of the games in this series. Darkstalkers, I think I played like a couple seconds of two of them, but okay, just all three of these haven't really played. So yeah, there are a couple that I haven't played, but I think for the most part I have a decent opinion on them. Anyway, that was my Capcom tier list. Yeah, I don't really know how to end this off. So yeah, just see you guys in the next video.